Hello there, this is Eric Miskell with EMS Now at Prod17 2017. We're having a panel here, end of day, to discuss kind of what's next for the growth wave for the EMS industry. So we've gathered a cast of characters here to give some insight. We have Zava with Zollner Electronics, Jorg with Jabil, and of course Phil with Scoop. Let me just give some context and then kind of turn it over to you. You know, we think about the EMS industry and how it's grown. It's grown in a variety of different ways, and I conceive them as waves, right? Some of it was services-wise, from basic PCBA through design and aftermarket services. Some was product-driven. If you look at from computers was a big wave, servers was a big wave, cell phones were a wave of growth within the industry. And then technology as well, obviously, right? From basic board stuffing through PCBA through everything that's going on. And so as we think about that, and we want to look back to look forward, as we look forward, what do you think is coming for the EMS? What's going to drive growth in the EMS in any of these areas, right? And maybe some of them don't apply. The one I forgot to mention was regional too, geographic, right? The big move to low-cost regions, and all of a sudden OEMs wanted that cheaper. So whether it be Mexico or China and the different ones, even in Eastern Europe. So in your opinions, where do you see the next growth coming for EMS?
So when we look on the global market and when we differentiate the technology challenges that we see and also the market challenges that we see, we have to say that based on all the IoT trends that are existing and where I see that we are still at the very beginning, so I think there is a lot that is coming in our future. Aspects like miniaturization will be a very important driver. Also the fact that companies that had nothing to do with electronics before coming out of the software and want to collect data, for example, or coming about of the analog world and want to get their products connected. This will be the drivers that will get also in our direction. Also a more mixed up situation with not being 100% able to mix industrial applications with consumer products.
So from my perspective, I follow your lead, but at the same time I see that flexible hybrid electronics is definitely an additional opportunity for the EMS industry, as it is maturing with more complex components being reliably assembled on either flexible or stretchable kind of substrates. New markets are being explored which add significant revenue to the EMS industry. That's definitely one. A big piece of supplementary revenue will come from additive manufacturing and 3D printing and the combination thereof. While not all elements can be easily substituted by that, and there will always be cases where high volume manufacturing will be a plastic injection mold in the traditional sense, made and machined, but for volumes and single piece on demand, these services, 3D printing and additive manufacturing, will have its place.
Yeah, I think additives is really exciting as an opportunity. It's an exciting opportunity when we look at it from a brand point of view, but also when we look at it from a manufacturing point of view, because I think it's disruptive in terms of the way manufacturing is distributed. I think the other two really big trends that I think are driving growth when I look at EMS, obviously the whole smart factory industry 4.0 thing, and you know that's driven by a desire of some of the very large brands to have that down the line traceability, that ability to have a digital twin where they can look forward to different models. And then the last area, which I think is hugely exciting and has huge potential for the EMS industry, is taking the E out, is moving from an electronics manufacturing services model to a manufacturing services model, and we're already seeing that happen. It wasn't a surprise to me when Flextronics dropped the Tronics from their name, and when you look at some of the brands that are being manufactured for, there's a lot going on outside of electronics. Take Jabil Packaging Solutions and what they do in the high-speed consumables market. There's a lot going on. So opportunities in apparel, opportunities in smart packaging, opportunities outside what we would consider the traditional verticals, I think are potentially huge.
So interesting. You mentioned dropping the E. Jabil dropped the circuits notion. It's Jabil.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, what's Zollner going to drop next? No. Nothing.
I think we keep the name actually as it is.
I think you should. Absolutely. So what I'm hearing was more. It's technology based. It's product based. It's not. So the geographic issues really that's played itself out then in the market. And really, do you expect that not to be so much of a factor in the future?
Well, we have that strategy driving in the past as well, that we absolutely follow a local for local politics, meaning manufacturing in Asia for the Asian market, manufacturing in Middle America for the Americas market, and keep the European market at that location. I think with the higher degree of customization that we see from the products itself, it will be even more an important aspect that the production of the individual products that we do for our customers will be even more local to their needs and to their markets as it is now.
I think the regional dependencies which we see today, the heavy Eastern manufacturing centers, they sort of, the more we have the digital twin, which Phil mentioned rightly, truly realized